So let's get things underway here on finals day for the BNL Karting Series kickoff. It's the mini and mini rookie Superheat. Let's take you through the starting grid. Pole position will be in the form of Victor Reutz in the 176 with Vic van Kampenhout in the 147 alongside. Row 2 is the 171 of AJ Berggraaf with the 151 of Marius Mazinas alongside. Row 3, it's Jent Thimoonen in the 110 and the 125 of Patrikas Jokius. Jeff Verbeek in the 126 and Vince van der Hullen in the 130 round out row 4, and completing the top 10 is the 116 of Zen Lindemann and the 193 of Jack Freeman. Arie Kallenberg and Gage Moyes round out row 6 with Tristan Shays and Jesse Moonen completing row 7. Kimi May and Maria Roberto round out row 8 with Ryan Rampadarath and Tafi Niskanen on row 9. Completing the top 20, it's Theo Steindal and Arthur Farrow. Devrim Yater, Ava Lawrence, Leon Herbols, Pauline Van Praet, Tristan Abils, Plamen Georgiev, Albert Farrow and Ryan Rivers round out the 28-strong grid. So this morning at around about between 8 and 8:30, big deluge of rainfall, also hailstones once again. So the track is very much saturated, so the drivers will be in their wetsuits and with the wet weather tyres on all karts. There is a breeze in the air. So we'll see whether we do get a better change in the weather conditions over the course of the 8 races, the 4 superheats and the 4 finals that we will have today. So the red lights are ignited on the starting gantry just over the start-finish straight as the drivers now start to make their way down towards turn number 10. And it will be down to Victor Reutz and Vic van Kampenhout to lead the field through into the tram lines out of the final corner. And then, if all's well, we will be lights out and we will be underway in racing. For the first of 8 times today, the field now starts to close on in the 2x2 rolling start formation. Drivers weaving from side to side, getting themselves ready. Out of the final corner, revs rise. Lights are on. Lights are out first time we're underway. And it's going to be a drag race down to turns 1 and 2. Victor Reutz will lead the field as one's gone spinning round. That is Jent Thimoonen, and somebody else has also gone off and hit a big muddy puddle between turn 1 and turn 6. Several other karts also off the circuit as the rest of the field makes their way through in towards turn 6 for the first time. So no surprise, yellow flags at Marshall Post 1, heading into turns 1 and 2. 3 karts off the circuit. And Jent Thimoonen now manages to get through on the 180 of Ava Lawrence. Field now makes its way through down into the right-hander here at turn 10, and it's AJ Berggraaf that now leads the race. Vic van Kampenhout in second. Jeff Verbeek in the 126 now up to P3. Victor Reutz looks to have dropped down into 4th position as Berggraaf hooks into the curbing on the inside of the approach into turn 12. So lap 1 now completed. AJ Berggraaf leads the way from 3rd on the grid to the race lead. As no overtaking into turns 1 and 2. There were yellow flags. The drivers affected: Maria Roberto, Tafi Niskanen, Leon Herbols and Pauline Van Praet. Well, Maria Roberto's got going again. Niskanen, Herbols and Van Praet look to be out. However, there is a couple of drivers looking to be very, very gutsy going through into turn 5, one of which was the 1, 2, 4. And that was Arthur Farrow making a nice clean overtake. Meantime, Vic van Kampenhout trying to get through on AJ Berggraaf, who runs wide through turn number 8. And van Kampenhout in the 147 now takes the lead. Through into turn 9, a little bit of a wider exit from Vic van Kampenhout as AJ Bergdorf tries to get the momentum to try and get through on the 147, who blocks off, who makes a very stern and very good clean defense into turn 10. So Leon Herboz has managed to get going again. Meantime, we're about to complete lap 2. 2 laps completed, 2 different leaders. Van Kampenhout leads Berggraf as Victor Reitz going side by side with Mayus Mazinas. And Victor Reitz holds on, well, stays now in what is 4th position. Mazinas managed to get alongside and pull slightly in front across the start-finish line on the completion of lap 2. But Victor Reitz still holding his ground. Just behind them is Patrikas Jokius in the 125 from Lithuania. A little bit late on the brakes was the 125, I think, but still manages to keep Mazinas in front. A little bit of a touch between the pair. That's going to run Mazinas a little bit wide. Taps the right-hand side of the helmet as if to say, come on, Patrikos, just think about it. Don't start battling me. Let's try and catch up with those in front of us, because Mazinas was very much embroiled in a battle with Victor Reitz for that 4th place. Ryan Rivers, in the meantime, has made up 10 places from 26th on, well, he was actually so dead last on the grid, so that is effectively 12 places gained. So Taffy Niskanen and Pauline Van Preet out of the race. They're going to have to wait a little while until the final comes around a little bit later on, and that will be at 1 o'clock this afternoon. So Van der Hullen past Sen Lindemann, that's for 7th. Meantime, Patrikas Jokius up the inside through turn 2 on Mayus Mazinas, but Mazinas gets back through, retakes 5th place. As we have 4 minutes and 48 seconds on the timer, plus an additional lap remaining. Plamen Georgiev now up into 22nd position. Theo Steindal, in the meantime, has made it up to 14th from 19th on the grid as Patrikas Jokius again tries to look for the opening, the opportunity to get through on Mayus Mazinas, but that is not quite happening yet. Fastest lap of the race so far, Vic van Kampenhout, 1 minute 17.314. As the sun now decides to break through the clouds and cover the circuit in sunlight. The gap last time around was nearly 7/10 of a second between the leader and 2nd place. It's now extended to just over a second. And another new fastest lap by Vic van Kampenhout, 1 minute 17.044. Nearly 4/10 quicker, but in the meantime, Jenthe Moonen, starting to come back through the field, has just got past the 113 of Tristan Shays. That's for 12th place. And now is looking for another position. And gets through on Arie Kallenberg in the 128. Gets through at turn 4 as they now make their way down the Europalan at turn 6. Just behind them is Kimi May, the 150 from Germany. Overtakes are happening through into turn 7. Looks like that was Cage Moyes that Jenthe Moonen has just managed to get past. So another position gained by the Belgian. After drama in the opening moment or two of the race itself. A couple of time penalties have just been given out for drivers breaking formation with 2 wheels out of the tram line. So getting a 3-second time penalty will be Devrim Yater in the 108 and also Leon Herboz in the 198. As Kimi May makes an overtake in his own right through on the 128. And that's Arie Kallenberg. All dramas for Victor Reitz. Victor Reitz was running P4 and has dropped a handful of positions. That was coming out of turn number 3. There's a bit of a gap between Victor Reitz and somebody else. Not too sure if there might have been a little bit of assistance for Victor Reitz. And he was actually battling with Jeff Verbeek. And there was a little bit of a touch between the pair into the left-hand side of Victor Reutz. As now Patrick Asiokius again trying to get past on Marius Mazinas. They've closed in on Jeff Verbeek in the 126. So this is the battle for P3. AJ Berggraaf just up ahead in the 171. Whereas Vic van Kampenhout has extended a lead to 1.7 seconds. There goes Vince van der Hallen up the inside through into turn number 11 on Patrick Asiokius. Vic van Kampenhout now exits the final corner and will cross the line to complete lap number 6. And his advantage now over AJ Berggraaf is 2.4 seconds and climbing. So Victor Reutz drops down to 7th position. Jens Timonen now up into 9th, having got past the 116 of Zen Lindemann. But with 50 seconds to go, Van Kampenhout is in front and is starting to pull away. Vince van der Hallen now trying to look to see if he can get past the 151 of Marius Mazinas. Won't get it done through into turn number 7. But with Mazinas running a little bit wide through the halfway point of turn 8, that could have given Van der Hallen a little bit of an opportunity. Through out of turn 9. A little wave of the finger as if to say to Patrick Asiokius, no, you can't do that. There's a little bit of a touch between front and rear bumper. But we are coming down to the final few seconds of the 9 minutes elapsing. So, final lap is underway. It was literally on the buzzer for Vic van Kampenhout, and he's got a 3.6 second lead. And he's just set the new fastest lap of the race. 1 minute 16.670 was 1.2 seconds quicker than AJ Berggraaf, who is still very much in second place. But Jeff Verbeek is being challenged in the latter stages of the race by Marius Mazinas for that 3rd place. So one more run down the Europalant here at turn 6 and 7, but there is the race leader. Vic van Kampenhout started on the outside of the front row. And even though hitting a big puddle on the inside approach into turn number 9, it hasn't really fazed the youngster from Belgium. 2 more turns to negotiate, and Vic van Kampenhout can easily bring it home. And is going to pick up a maximum score of 75 points from the outside of the front row to becoming the Superheat winner in Minimax. Out of the final corner, Vic van Kampenhout strides away into the distance and takes victory in the Superheat, taking 75 points. AJ Berggraaf takes 2nd. 3rd, it's Jeff Verbeek. 4th, it's Marius Mazinas, with Vince van der Hallen rounding out the top 5. Patrick Asiokius, Victor Reutz and Jack Freeman complete the top 8, followed by Jens Timonen and Zen Lindemann. Kees Moyes and Kimmy May complete the top 12 as the rest of the finishers come across the start-finish line. Theo Steindal wins the mini rookie classification, taking 13th place. Ahead of Tristan Shays and Ari Kallenberg, with Arthur Ferro completing the top 16. Ryan Rampadarath, Ryan Rivers making some good headway and ending up 18th at the end of the race. So up 10 positions from last on the grid. Ava Lawrence, Devrim Yeta, Albert Ferro, Tristan Abils, Maria Roberto, Jesse Moonen and Plamen Georgiev, along with Leon Herbos, who crosses the stripe now to take the checkered flag. They are the 26 out of 28 finishers. And with the opening incident happening just on the outskirts of turns 1 and 2, we lost Taffin Iskanen from Finland and Pauline van Pret from Belgium. But Vic van Kampenhout takes the maximum score as the winner of the mini Superheat.